And it's the battle between Nagasaki Velka and Ryukyu Golden Kings. Here is the B.LEAGUE Championship playoffs. You can see how these two teams progressed. Ryukyu getting past Seahorses Makawa and then knocking off the defending champs Utsunomiya Bricks. Nagasaki Velka, meanwhile, getting past Alvark Tokyo in that quarterfinals. That was a crucial win for them, and then getting into the finals. And their roster is loaded. You see Yudai Baba there has just been such an incredible pro for this team, just does what needs to be done. You see Masaya Karimata as well. This will be his last professional game. And then Stanley Johnson, Modi Mayor. He's done a great job rebounding, getting his team to rebound from that opening game defeat. And then they won game 2, 66-60. Well, I'm Jeff Taylor, and joined once again by Anthony Assuntai. And Anthony, as we look at these two rosters, Ryukyu Golden Kings, what do you think? Vic Law, you got Ryuichi Kishimoto, you got Jack Cooley, Alex Kirk, Damian Dotson, who is going to have to step up for this team for Ryukyu that perhaps can give them that extra lift?
Well, Jeff, great to be working with you once again, and it's a pleasure doing game number 3, the final game for the B-League season. To directly answer your questions, as far as I'm concerned, for the Ryukyu Golden Kings, 2 keys to victory. Number 1, they've got to dominate the rebounding. That's exactly what they did in game number 1, but they were not able to do that in game number 2, and they eventually went down with the loss. Secondly, they need to have Kishimoto on the floor. He was plagued by foul trouble all throughout game number 2. He could hardly get into a groove. He could not set up their offense. And so without him, it seems like they're a discombobulated bunch. On the other side, when you look at Velka, for me, the 2 keys to victory, number 1, Lee should be a constant. Meaning, he can't just be a scorer at the start and then at the end. Or sometimes in the first 2 quarters, and then he's absent in the 3rd and 4th. He's got to be a constant reminder that they can go 2 points from him anywhere in the court. And secondly, Johnson and Brantley need to be able to create for their squad, because when they create properly, they also have a lot of opportunities for guys like like Yudai Baba, and also the other import that they have inside, who is of course Akil Mitchell.
Well, the fans are getting a look at some of the past winning teams, and also some of the great highlights over the years, especially from these 2 teams as well. This season, you just saw Akil Mitchell, the real battler in there for Nagasaki Velka. He had some tough moments in this final series, but missing shots, but you never question his competitiveness and desire, and especially defensively and rebounding. And I thought you talk about this Golden Kings team needing to out-rebound Nagasaki, and it was a topic, in the post game after game 2. Nagasaki Velka felt like they could get out there, play physical, crash the boards, right on the edge of having too much physicality. And so a lot of it depends, perhaps, how this game will be refereed. I don't think these referees are going to change anything from how they have worked the first 2 games. Lee Hyung-jung there to the right, the Korean international that you mentioned. Jerome Brantley as well is an explosive player. There's any number of players. Karimata as well. What must be going through his mind today, this being his last game? He is a good, strong, physical player and wants to go out a winner today. But gosh, Anthony, can you imagine if this Ryukyu Golden Kings team does not win today? 3 consecutive finals without a win. They did win it in 2023, and they lost it the year before that. They do not want to lose 3 in a row.
That's for certain, Jeff. In fact, I think they're a little bit pressured right now because nobody wants to come up into the finals, as you said, for 3 straight years, and then you're going to lose 3 straight years. Remember, prior to that, they were the champions, and then they were bridesmaid, and then now another bridesmaid finish. I don't think that's something that they can actually deal with. That's going to be so devastating to them. So I think they're starting to feel the pressure, and let's see if they can overcome that pressure and finally win another championship.
When you start feeling that pressure and you look at the starting 5, Law, Kishimoto, Matsuwaki, Cooley, Kirk, you're looking for somebody to kind of step up even more and to be that leader, to calm things down. I know Kishimoto is willing to be that man. I'm just wondering as well, remembering how difficult the game was. I know that you look for Jack Cooley to be a rebounder, to do a lot of the dirty work. But for my money, when you need a bucket, in my opinion, you get the ball in his hands and you let him go to work. And he either scores or he will get fouled. That would be my observation from game 2.
I agree with you, totally. And again, just going back to the rebounding story, remember in game number 1, there were 21 offensive rebounds for the Golden Kings. 21 is a large number for defensive rebounds, and that's the number of defensive rebounds that Velka had. So to have 21 offensive rebounds just goes to show how much they dominated. Exactly, Jeff. But they didn't have that kind of number in game number 2. And all throughout the season, if you look at the game plan of the Golden Kings, they have almost always, at least 90% of the time, dominated their opponents in terms of rebounding. So they've got to do that here today because that definitely is one of the formulas for success.
So Lee, Brantley, Kumagai, Baba, and Mitchell, the starting 5. And Karimata as well comes out. And I don't know about you, but when I'm looking at that trophy, that shine, that sparkle, to me, there just seems to be something almost magical about it. Maybe it's the lights. Maybe there is some type of power. I think it definitely has something
to do with the lights. But again, you know, it is something to be able to look at, and look at that as they had the close-up. That is really something to look at with so much awe. And that trophy will be going to one of these squads in about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, Mitchell, Brantley, Lee, Baba, Kumagai for Velka in the starting 5. Kishimoto, Matsuwaki, Law, Cooley, and Kirk for the Ryukyu Golden Kings. If the Pink Panthers out there watching, he's probably got his eye on that trophy as well, so they might want to put that thing away somewhere where he can't get to it.
He's going to be hunted down by all these huge players if he's not able to return that. But again, this is it. This is for all the marbles. One final game, the final game of the 2025-2026 season. When you talk about the Velka squad, they dominated all throughout the elimination phase, finishing number 1 with the best record of 47 wins, 13 losses. And for them, anything but a championship will be, once again, a failure of a season.
Well, it's been a hard season. It's been a hard season for these players. A lot of games, a lot of practices, and particularly the playoffs and these finals. They've played 2 games. They've had a day off. How does fatigue play into this? Well, this is when those extra miles that you put in the preseason perhaps, but also how you manage your rest throughout the season. This when it all comes into play.
That's a very great point. And in fact, I tip my hats to the B-League for actually giving them a day's rest. Because at least now they can come back, maybe not at 100%, but I would say maybe at least 85. And that is more than enough. That's really all you can ask for.
Hello everybody, welcome. Once again, we are in Yokohama for the B.LEAGUE Finals in the battle, the Game 3 decider between Nagasaki Velka, going for their first title, squaring off against the RYUKYU Golden Kings. This is their 5th consecutive finals. They won it in 2023. Trying to avoid losing it for the 3rd time in a row, and Vic Law misses a wide open 3 to start things off.
That was actually a bad miss for him.
Brantley. Here's Lee.
And there you are, trying to go to Lee as early as they possibly can. They want to make sure they maximize him being on the floor.
Number 1 3-point shooting team in the B.LEAGUE. And there's Cooley. Jack is back. 35 years young. And one of the best players in this competition for some time now. Another 3 off the back of the iron. Well, Nagasaki came back from that early deficit in Game 2 to win it. They didn't from Game 1. And Vic Law goes up, and that Kirk turned that into an alley-oop. I don't know if that was a shot or a pass.
Nonetheless, it didn't go down. That should have been 4-0.
Oh, nice give and go! And free throws coming for Lee, the foul on Matsuwaki.
But he's doing the right thing. If he has somebody such as Matsuwaki, he can actually take him on. He got away from Vic Law there. Vic Law, of course, is the primary defender, just like what he did in game number 1. Actually, he was not the primary defender on Lee in game number 2.
Lee has heard the plaudits. 10th in scoring in the league this season at 17.4 points per game. Number 1 percentage, 3-point shooting, 47.9%. This guy is for real.
And he shoots above 90% from the line, makes 2 free throws. That's our first deadlock now at 2.
And that's another reason why at the end of the games, I think he should be the go-to man, because you know if he gets fouled, there's a great chance he's going to make those free throws. Although making them in the final minute can be a little bit touch and go at times.
Exactly.
Kishimoto.
Definitely, and a lot of missed free throws in game number 1 for both these squads, especially Velka.
Well, Kishimoto was injured last season. That finals might have been different, who knows? Take nothing away from Resona and Brex. They were richly deserved their title, but you take a player like Kishimoto out of the lineup and you're missing one of your most important players. He is back. Will it be enough this year? How about that? Going right down the lane and dunking it. Yudai Baba.
Well, Yudai Baba saying, I think, Jeff and Anthony, you need to start talking about me a little bit more. I came back here to the B.LEAGUE after playing in Australia, and I want the title right here, right now.
He was awesome, even in defeat in game 1. There to kind of Mori. Well known. Here's the 3, and that's no good. Here's Kirk with the putback.
Second deadlock, and that is once again the Golden Kings showcasing their strength.
Well, there's Brantley. Oh, the bounce pass intercepted. Trying to get it to Cooley, Kirk, but there's Lee. Oh, change of direction, gets it up. Would have been a spectacular finish had it gone, but instead, RYUKYU Golden Kings get the basketball back.
Well, you can see definitely Lee a little bit too excited there. He went up against 2 defenders. He might have been better served. The moment the door got shut on him, he could have actually just passed it out.
This was Baba. Once again, you get excited just watching him go up on the replay to dunk it. One of the most important players as well in that Japan national team. And just illustrates how big time this finals is, how big time the B-League is to have leading players from the respective national teams taking center stage, especially today. There's some shaking and baking. Kishimoto goes to the left hand.
And that just shows you why he's effective and why he needs to stay on the floor.
And Stanley Johnson tries to get to the rim, and Cooley called for a foul. Cooley felt like he was in good defensive position. Have a look. Yeah, I think it's a tough call on Cooley.
Yes, it was, but again, you like exactly what Stanley Johnson was doing. He is really one of the top scorers in the B-League, and he loves in the open court. He is less effective when the defense is set up.
Well, 22.8 points per game, second in steals as well at 1.9 per game. That's where he heard the plaudits more in that last game. But he has had some big free throw misses. And perhaps the ball doesn't lie, Anthony.
That's true. Could be. Oh, he misses both.
Hustles, gets it back. And the ball went off of the backboard behind. So that is not perhaps the start he was looking for, most definitely.
But that is one personal and Cooley. That's still big.
Big Law get it going. Here's Cooley. Well, he's a long way out. Maybe not where he's most comfortable. And hustling down Kumagai, he misses. And you know what's really telling there for me? Look who hustles down to get the rebound. It's not just about the brawn, the muscle, the strength. It's about moving your feet and getting down the court and hustling. And Cooley did just that.
Now with 3 rebounds already. As you can see, he gets hacked in the face. Actually in the back of the head, to be exact.
So Udai Baba, and I think what Motomayor is frustrated by the misses. You know, we've seen his team miss a lot of shots right at the rim in this finals.
Well, still a 1-point lead for Nagasaki. If you take solace in that.
Kishimoto goes between the legs. Hooping and scooping. Got to get it up. He does get it up. Well, it was a good attempt in the end, and then Cooley has it blocked from behind. Great play by Stanley Johnson. Ball ended up going off of Cooley.
Again, the guy now. Jack Cooley already with 4 rebounds, Jeff.
Look at that defense from Kumagai. That is textbook. Move your feet. And it's not often that you see Cooley go up and not bring the basketball down, no matter what the situation. Kumagai giving his all, sits down. Yamaguchi checks into the game. A little bit of everything to help his team win.
He's one of the players, Jeff, I think really needs to come alive here in the finals. He has been ineffective in the first 2 games.
Oh, nice little give and go. And that is going to be goal interference or the foul. I thought maybe he had already got it off the backboard. I don't have a problem with this.
He's going to have 2 free throws, Jeff.
And I don't have a problem with this defense by RYUKYU Golden Kings. They're like, you know what? You're going to bring it in here. You're not going to get a layup. You're going to go to the line and earn it. And again, that's very, very touchy. So the foul is on Kishimoto, not on Law. Dotson checks into the game. It's quite a luxury to have a player like Damian Dotson coming off the bench. That is like a shot of espresso.
That is for certain. Well, on the other side, you can say the same thing for Velka, because when Johnson comes in, that's exactly what he does. He just jumpstarts their offense.
Yeah, Johnson's like a double espresso.
Exactly.
There he is, the veteran, Karimata, his last game. What a ride it's been for him. What a journey. What this must be like going through his mind. Probably just enjoying the moment regardless.
But he'd like to go home with a championship. That's the best way to ride into the sunset.
It is. Maybe he will. With a cowboy hat. And a horse.
Exactly.
Nice foul. Not a good bounce pass, in fact, right at his feet. Leads to a turnover, and Lee, can you believe it? I thought he made a mistake by not giving it up, but instead, he keeps it, makes a difficult shot, and goes to the line for a three-point play.
And I like that patience there, Jeff, because of the fact that he saw it was only Karimata, actually it was Matsuwaki that was in front of him, and so he just slowed things down. He knew he can shoot over him. That's exactly what he did. If it was maybe a world import in front of him, he might have definitely passed that ball.
Well, he played Lee Hyung-jung for the coaching legend Bob McKillop at Davidson, just like Steph Curry. And ever since then, you knew this guy was going on to big things. I don't even think that he's reached his height yet. I think he's going to get better, Lee.
I agree. I definitely agree. The best is still yet to come for Hyung-jung.
Matsuwaki gets the rebound off the Dotson miss. There's Kirk. Step back, Kishimoto.
That was good defense put up there.
The one player that hasn't really impressed me in this finals has been Kirk. And I don't know if it's just because of what they're asking him to do, or is it just the quality of the opponent? Here's Baba. Soft touch.
He's going to get the roll, exactly. This is now going to be the biggest lead for Yuda. He's got 4 points, and now he extends their lead to 8.
Well, Udai Baba, definitely, you want to talk about Udai Baba? Well, Udai Baba is Mr. Complete. He does absolutely everything, but more important than anything, does what is needed. Played at Tsukuba University, from the Toyama Prefecture. You know what his nickname is, Anthony?
Let us know.
It's Boom. It's Boom. Boom! Do you think his wife calls him Boom?
Probably for a different reason. Well, right now he's come up with a boom here for his squad.
You got lucky, you got nothing. Hey, you got the side.
So Kishimoto sits down, Waki checks into the game, just 24 years of age, and talk about a guy that's really just scratching the surface of his potential. Waki brings so much to the table. Such a luxury for him to be playing with so many great pros and learning. And here he is bringing the basketball up the floor in the final Game 3 decider against Nagasaki Velta. Kumaga got back in the game as well. Not an enviable task playing against Kumaga. So here's Waki, takes a difficult shot. Not sure what that was about. Quick outlet pass to Baba.
But right now it seems like the offense of the Golden Kings have been stymied. Nothing has been in rhythm.
And you got that right. Good effort. Baba getting it back out. Baba. Kumaga, skip pass. And a Three-point shot, no good from Yamaguchi. Golden Kings desperately need a bucket. Law gets inside, and a patient whistle from Takaki Kato. And Law and Dotson trying to get on the same page. They don't look too happy, do they?
No, they don't. And right now, how can you be? You're only scoring 6 points. Actually, 14 points isn't something to write home about. But definitely, if you only scored 6 points in the pivotal game number 3, you know you're in trouble.
I just wonder if everything is okay with Dotson, because the body language there in the exchange with big Law, and then he comes out with Sadahara checking in, taking his place. So something is not quite right in the RYUKYU Golden Kings scheme right now, and Law complicates things further by going to the line and missing the free throw. You know, the last thing they wanted to do, Anthony, was play a game 3 after winning game 1. I think that might be the key right there. You need to get that man in the game. Onodera.
Well, he does bring a lot to the table for his squad, but when you look at the import combinations, Law and Dotson have just not played well together. It's much better with Cooley here in Law.
Oh, Johnson fell down, kept the dribble, so he was able to stand back up. Here he is, launching it. Well, they put up so many threes. Baba goes out that you're not surprised that they're launching them. Yet, some of those threes to me aren't great shots. It's the same at this end as well. Here's Cooley, right where you want him to be if you're playing defense. You want him a long way from the basket.
This is not his game. Trying to bring it inside.
Terrific pass, though, to Sadahara. Oh, look at this. And then he gets it back. And not successful. Difficult angle on the putback attempt for Jack Cooley. They got Lee in the corner. Here's Mitchell. Lee for 3. Got it!
That's like a layup for him. You cannot leave him that wide open. He had so much time to size up that shot. Now it's a 10-point advantage. Now they're going to check on something.
Wow. They want to see if it was a 3 with his foot on the line. Can't see it from that picture.
Yeah, we're going to need another angle. That's not a good angle as well.
This might be better. Oh,
it's not a good angle, but then from the looks of it, it looks like he might be stepping on that line.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to make a judgment from these. So I think they called it a 3, right?
Yes, on the floor it was a 3. So unless there's undisputable evidence, it'll have to stick. So the officials have even more angles than what we're looking at right now. So they might have a better chance of discerning this one.
I mean, from what we've seen, it's indisputably indisputable. Not indisputable. So we're going to see. They do call the 3. Much to the delight of Nagasaki Velka fans and Lee himself. Lee full of glee and Dai Okatani relaxed, but again, understanding that right now this game is not progressing as he had hoped. And there needs to be some changes. Maybe not so much in playing personnel, but what their scheme is, and an offensive foul, Sadahara.
That's not going to help their cause. It just seems, and we talked about it in the pregame, that's why I said you've got to have Kishimoto on the floor. I mean, nothing against Waki. Waki's a tremendous player. But at this stage, you cannot afford to fall below even more than 10 points.
Well, Damian Dotson comes back into the game. And here he is. Well, just ruling that he wasn't set, kind of threw the elbow. And now look, Law is constantly, there's nothing wrong with him talking to his teammates about what they're not doing well. I mean, to me, that's leadership, but it's just curious that they're not able to get on the same page. Good defense. Oh, and the blocking foul called on Kumagai. Very disruptive. Nothing wrong with that. Only their second team foul.
And he'll gladly take that at this stage, Jeff, because you can see, obviously, there is no sort of rhythm at all in the offense of the Golden Kings. So now, from Velka's point of view with that foul, you can set up your offense or your defense once again.
Okay, so they brought in Onodera. They brought in Onodera, number 34. And let's see if he can flip the switch. Dotson also in the game with Law. And it just could be that Dotson and Law don't play well together. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of that here. There's a reach. And a foul on Lee.
This has been a combination that has worked a little bit better. At least Dotson and Cooley, or Law and Cooley, but not Dotson and Law together.
Sadahara looks for his options. And again, they've got Cooley a long way from the basket. Oh, now he's going to cut in. Almost turned it over. Dotson gets it back. Gets it to Onodera for three. Misses everything. Kind of rushed that shot up. Nagasaki going for their first B-League title. And good defense again by Cooley this time. Twice now the defense has saved Ryukyu Golden Kings.
We've only got 7 points here, and we're under 30 seconds.
Yeah, let's talk about the defense of Nagasaki. Onodera. Still can't get it to go, but follows the miss. Gets it back. Gonna put up another one for three. He's got it! Flip the switch!
Well, he's stuck
You
with it.
You need a player that wants it, who's confident and relaxed. They got to get the shot up. Johnson does, and it felt like they switched off. They didn't know how much time was left on the clock, or at least Johnson, until the last second. 17-10, Nagasaki Velka leading Ryukyu Golden Kings in this low-scoring first quarter of the B-League Finals, Game 3 decided. All things considered, Anthony, I mean, that was a horrendous, let's just put it out there, first quarter for Ryukyu Golden Kings. Offensively, the players, they didn't necessarily look happy to be out there together, yet to get a shot right at the end, like they did from Onodera, and to go to the benches at the end of the quarter trailing by just 7 points, well, maybe they're not in a bad spot after all.
No, not at all. There's still a lot of basketball to be played, but again, what really worries me is there is no fluidity whatsoever in what they're trying to do on the offensive end, which is so surprising because this is a team that, as we said, has made it to 4 straight finals. They won one 3 years ago. And so for them to be able to suddenly lack fluidity, that is really baffling to me. But as we said, that 3-point shot from Onodera was heaven sent.
What I like about this is Onodera, he misses it, but he doesn't let it affect him. And he makes himself available in the corner and he knocks it down. And that is a good sign from Kishimoto. That is okay, now we're on track, let's go.
And that's why you go with veterans whenever the going gets tough. Onodera is 31 years old. He's been around the block more than once, and he's not afraid to take the open shot. Actually, the other shots were a little bit questionable, maybe, but still, he's got the guts to take it, and somebody needs to be able to take charge.
5 of 7 from the line, Nagasaki. That's been a part of their success. Look at the three-point shooting for RYUKYU Golden Kings. That was their only three-pointer right at the end by Onodera. And remember, Nagasaki are the best three-point shooting team in the competition. They were just 2 of 8. So second quarter action underway in game 3. Lee
Exactly,
from
the
deep.
defense is held. Miss from Lee.
And Cooley with the rebound. Cooley already with 6 rebounds.
That's a good strategy. You go up against Lee and you ask him to play defense, so he's playing hard in both ends.
But a relatively quiet game so far for Brantley, but he can put up points in a hurry as well. Here's Onodera this time, does not let it fly. Looks for a better shot. Nope, he's going to take it, and I think he was almost playing for a foul there.
Well, he was hoping. He also realized the shot clock was winding down, and again, as we said, because the offense isn't fluid, they're having to take shots when the shot clock is about ready to go off.
This is a series, in my opinion, where defense is winning for both teams. And Pavelka, as that last possession showed, are really getting after it on defense. And it's interesting to me as well that Kumagai is guarding Onodera. I think Modi Mayor doesn't want Onodera to get off. And Lee called for the reach. He needs to be, or Baba rather, he needs to be careful with his reaction.
See if he got armed.
He probably did, but in fairness to Takaki Kato, whenever you see a player slap down on the ball like that, you're already asking yourself as the referee, did he foul him? So Baba has to leave. Paul Henare, the assistant coach, says, come on, Udai, let's get over here, sit down, calm down. I think that's his 3rd foul. And that's a big call. But that is indeed his 3rd foul. Meanwhile, Taylor Johnson back in. Their defense changes. I would suggest their defensive ability or the power lessens a lot. Maybe by 30% without Udai Baba out there. That's how hard he works on defense. So Jarrell Brantley takes matters into his own hands, drives in and scores. So I think maybe that was Baba's 2nd foul. So if that's the case. Here is the drive, and Sadahara with a big rebound out to Onodera. Great work by the Pavelka on the board.
Three-point shooter here, Jeff. I'm still very surprised they don't have Kishimoto back on the floor. He's not in foul trouble.
Onodera now just 1 of 5 from three-point range. Oh boy, that's a tough matchup for him. Good help, but then Brantley goes up and follows. That is a complete and utter mismatch. Brantley going up, not just against Onodera, but also the help defender. They couldn't stop him.
Well, when he gets that close, he's the only one who can jump as high. And so he knows he's going to get the rebound. That was an easy putback.
Well, worried look on the face of Dayo Katani. He knows that he, at this stage, has caught the best Nagasaki has to offer on defense, and he needs somebody to step up in a big way. Berg comes down. Oh boy, tries to take a tough pass. Great recovery defensively.
Shot clock's down to 3.
Berg nowhere to go. Has to put up a prayer, and he makes it. Most incredible shot.
That was a prayer answered for Jack Cooley there. And again, just no flow to the offense of the Golden Kings.
Seems like Cooley not having his own way with Stanley Johnson. Oh boy, the ball goes in and out for Dotson.
And that was his shot. Usually we make that. It was in and out.
Brantley steps back, goes down looking for the foul. No whistle. And Dotson, I believe.
Looks like it's going to be on Sadahara, yeah.
Well, Sadahara very scrappy out there. Second foul on him. Kishimoto comes back into the game. Well, during the regular season, Kishimoto 17 of 53 three-point range, 32.1%. You would like to have a lot of threes going right now, but I think they're finding it hard to, I just don't know what they want to do, RYUKYU Golden Kings.
Exactly. A lot of those threes are really a product of their ball movement, and they do have open shots. Now they're forcing it, and at the tail end of the shot clock.
Kumaga lets it go, he's got it!
This is now the biggest lead in the contest for either squad. Nagasaki up by 12.
Jack Cooley gets in. This Nagasaki Velka team is not giving an inch inside against this really strong and physical front line. There's Cooley getting the rebound. I mean, and it's probably where they're winning the battle right now, Anthony. This is why this game is as it is. They are neutralizing the impact of Cooley, Kirk. It's Stanley Johnson. It's whoever's guarding Jarrell Brantley. You just saw him colliding there with Jack Cooley, making life miserable for those big guys. It is a real battle down low right now for RYUKYU Golden Kings.
Well, the thing is, the defense of Velka is doing their homework early. They're pushing Cooley out of his comfort zone. So he's getting that ball just inside the three-point area. They're not asking him to create. That's not his strength. He likes to operate with maybe a foot away from the shaded area, and that's where he's really most effective.
Out to Kishimoto, he needs to make one of these, and Kirk, and just on this sequence, and even on the putback attempts, RYUKYU Golden Kings finding it really difficult, and this is what separates this Velka team from the rest of the teams in Japan. Probably better equipped to combat this physical presence of Cooley and Kirk that so many other teams struggle with. Look at this. Blue shirts. Udai Baba frustrated they didn't get the basketball. So Baba, remember, he's got the 2 fouls guarding Law. And Kirk gets a little push off, it looked like, gets it back. Look at that, still cannot get it to go. Just a wall of defenders. Kishimoto puts it, oh, and the putback from Law. He's had enough. He's laying down the Law.
That is a huge basket from Law, and he sent a statement there. But again, relentless on the offensive boards. Just so many extra opportunities for the Golden Kings, and finally they get 2 points.
But even on those putback attempts, they are facing just incredible defense from Nagasaki. Well, that was a difficult shot, and this time RYUKYU Kings get the basketball, and now offsetting fouls, Kirk and Mitchell.
Well, NAGASAKI number 25.
Okatani. Just looking at other options that he might have. So he's got Law out on the court. He doesn't really have any other options. I mean, he needs as big a minutes right now from Kirk and Cooley that he can get. Otherwise, he's gonna have to play some small ball. Obviously, when you got Law out there, that's good size, but it's not enough against this Nagasaki Velka team. Certainly not today.
At least not today. And again, they need to be able to find some points from other places if their world imports are not able to deliver.
Trouble none so far for RYUKYU. Sadahara with 2. I mean, it really is noticeable. The problem as well that if you do take Cooley or Kirk off the court and Nagasaki Velka, they can keep good size out on the court. Kumagai and Baba each with 2 fouls. So they can keep Stanley Johnson, a combination of Stanley Johnson, Baba rebounds well, Mitchell, Yamaguchi, decent size, and Brantley obviously. So it feels like they have almost like a one-player advantage in terms of bigs. Brantley a power forward, but seeing him compete with Cooley, looks like he's a big on the defensive end.
Well, Nagasaki now is in the penalty with still so much time to be played. Let's see if the Golden Kings try to take advantage.
Try to get some penetration. Turnaround jumper from 3-point range from Law. And
Might be fouling Kirk.
It is with the push.
That's definitely frustration there on Alex Kirk. He just threw Lee out of the picture.
Oh, they call a foul on Cooley. Oh, wow. The second foul on Jack Cooley. Sadahara's, when he comes in, he's going to have to play bigger. Here is the pass to the corner. Baba, he's got it.
Really like that play that was called by Stanley Johnson. He realized Cooley was on him, and he took Cooley to the rack because he knew Cooley was not going to pick up foul number 3.
And boy, Yamaguchi called for the foul. I'm certainly hearing some language that is you don't want to.
Well, this has been a whole lot of pushing and shoving there. And definitely Akil Mitchell was not happy about the fact that he was being tossed around by Cooley and Kirk. He's having words with two of them.
So I thought this was, everything was great from Kishimoto. 86.8%, 9th overall this season in the league. Everything was great except the finish. He kind of flicks the ball up there sometimes rather than laying it up, but at least he was able to get to the free throw line, because right now Ryukyu Golden Kings are finding it just such a mammoth task just to see the ball go in the basket.
Well, they have been
that has
bleeding
everything to do with Nagasaki.
Oh, definitely.
So he makes both free throws, Kishimoto. Obviously, some of this will change if they can knock down to 3. Get some confidence from that standpoint. Here's the pass to Baba, and he is fouled. Just a relentless attack by Nagasaki Velka. Johnson with the personal. Baba going to the line.
Well, they're pressuring high, they're pressuring early. That's a good thing. What you do is you dive to the basket and hope you get the pass. And you got it. Baba now on the line.
Hey, Baba's also a great three-point shooter. 10th in the league this season at 39.6 from deep, but he misses the first free throw. He's a really good free throw shooter as well.
Hard to say that's fatigue starting to set in here already. He's played some heavy minutes, not just this entire conference, but also here in the playoffs.
He does make one of 2 to take it back to an 11-point advantage. Kishimoto keeps it again, drives in. Just not overly impressed by his attempt to finish. It's almost throwing it up there and hoping that one of your teammates is going to get the putback.
Again, there's just no flow at all to their offense. That's going to be an offensive foul, clearly.
Kishimoto taking one for the team.
That's going to be number 3 on Udai.
Yep. So that does not help. The only good thing about this for Nagasaki is they've got an 11-point lead, and Udai Baba has to know he's not going to get away with that. And with 2 fouls already, now your team is going to have to go without its best defender for the rest of this half.
You can see the frustration written all over the face of Modi Maor.
Yeah, so that was a mistake by Udai Baba. He's got to be a little smarter than that. That's a pounding wall. Kishimoto, goodness me. If that's the best they're going to be able to do to launch that shot, there is no way back for RYUKYU Golden Kings. Yeah, Kishimoto goes down, holding his nose. Did the ball hit him in the face?
Well, they're trying to go to Akil Mitchell there, coming from the weak side. Here's the replay.
Okay, let's have a look. There's the ball. Oh no, it was just, yeah, a little bit of acting, a little bit of theater from Kishimoto.
Does it look like he got hit really more in the chest than anywhere else?
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of gamesmanship.
Well, the referees didn't buy it.
So the numbers do not lie. 1 of 16 from three-point range and 5 of 19 inside the arc. And what I would suggest is that those shots are either being really closely contested Well, those are almost desperation shots that we've seen from Kishimoto the last few times down the court.
You know, they have a lot of offensive sets talking about the Golden Kings. It doesn't look like they're running any of them here because they're taking a lot of hurried shots with the shot clock winding down. Most of their shots from deep are doing the shot clock at 3, 2, or 1.
So again, Baba on the bench for the rest of the first half with 3 fouls. You got to admit, from a defensive physicality standpoint, Johnson, Brantley, Kumagai, Baba, all those guys have won this game so far for Nagasaki Velka.
Oh, they definitely have, and their defense really holding strong. Look at this, 16 points for the Golden Kings as we approach the final 2.5 of the first half of play.
Johnson, step back, got it! And that just makes them unbeatable if he's going to hit that shot. And believe it or not, his first 3 points of the game.
And this is a 14-point advantage. Things are going from bad to worse for the Golden Kings. They need to turn things around in the second half.
Johnson. Oh, look at the
That's a
tough
flush
shot
shot.
again. And
look at Lee coming up with a block there just in the nick of time.
I don't think they've faced this type of defense all season long.
And I think Velka has also played this kind of suffocating defense this entire series.
Whatever Modi Mayor said to his team yesterday and today, it has worked because they have been unbelievable defensively. And boy, tough break, Kishimoto. Pass, Mitchell. 14 points. You don't want this lead to get any bigger. If you get it back to 10 points by halftime, that would be ideal. But again, this has been an offensively challenged RYUKYU Golden King team.
There might have been a travel there. That's what Lee's asking for, but 2 free throws coming up here for RYUKYU. They need these free throws badly.
Yamaguchi, second foul. I mean, the game can change in a hurry.
Oh, there was no contact whatsoever there, Jeff.
No.
Yamaguchi actually gave Law some space. But again, looking at the angle of where the referee that made the call, it was very, very difficult for him to see that.
So Law goes to the line and makes the first. And at this stage, the way things are going right now, it feels like this is their best chance of getting points, is getting to the free throw line. Because anything in open play has just been incredibly hard. And Onodera watching from the bench alongside Waki. Law takes the time, makes both. So 12-point game. And again, but a 12-point game feels kind of like a 16-point game or a 17-point game the way Nagasaki played today.
Yes, and the way RYUKYU has struggled in terms of putting the ball in the hoop. Look at that,
boy,
so easy there for Johnson.
Unbelievable. Just a three-point play. Strength, ball handling, finishing, all on display by number 14. He was being blanketed by Dodson. How many times? So we've seen Brantley, and now we've seen Johnson just abuse the Golden Kings defender. A little bit of a mismatch. But to be able to start that move from outside is what makes that really impressive.
Here comes a regular substitution pattern of Coach Modunaor, sending in Matsumoto for the final minute.
Defensively, has been excellent today, Johnson. He's kind of let the offense come to him. He's only kind of forced it a little bit the last couple of minutes, and it's been to good effect because he's been scoring. And now the lead goes to 15 with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
I would like to see the Golden Kings take that ball to the rack because their opponents are in the penalty, such as that.
Oh boy, what a finish from Law. What a tough defense. I mean, you can't do anything more defensively than what they did. That was just a great finish.
The thing is, they're still trailing by 13.
Well, if they get a rebound, they're likely to get it back. Unless they score, of course. There's Johnson. Outside, a long three from Bradley. Goodness me.
The lead is now 16.
Gets it up.
Are they going to give him three free throws?
They have called a foul. Wow, what a mistake. Modunaor did not put him in the game for that. And that is just well, you're up 16, so you don't want to say it's a horrible mistake, but it's certainly not a smart foul.
Definitely not a smart foul coming from a veteran. He stuck too close. You just give him that shot. If he makes it, well and good. But you don't want to give them any sort of momentum heading into the second half.
Well, I think even if he makes all three free throws right now, it feels like this Velka team still has all the momentum.
But just imagine, Jeff, going to the half with a 16-point disadvantage. That's big.
Versus 13.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, they've gotten a large percentage of their points at the line. If he makes this, they will have 10 of their 23 points at the free throw line. And Dayo Katani, the Japan national team coach as well, is going to have a real inspirational talk at halftime. Maybe tinker the plan. Oh my gosh, what a mistake. Now they're giving RYUKYU Golden Kings the chance to score here right before the break.
And they might add 0.3 to the clock. It says 0.5, it should be 0.8. Nobody touched that.
Exactly, yep, they do. They put 0.8 on, so this is a real opportunity. Now this would definitely be a momentum stealer if they can score here. Morikawa comes into the game. Kishimoto will maybe give it to Law if he can. And Cooley gets blocked, so they went for an alley-oop attempt rather than getting a three. And anyway, 36-23, Nagasaki Velka leading RYUKYU Golden Kings in Game 3 of the B-League Finals here in Yokohama at halftime.
And now, fencing!
Well, that is the trophy that both of these teams, Nagasaki Velka and RYUKYU Golden Kings, are going after today. And so far, it's been Nagasaki Velka getting the better of the exchanges against the RYUKYU Golden Kings team that is playing in the finals for the 5th consecutive year and trying to avoid losing it for the 3rd consecutive time. Nagasaki Velka chasing their first title. Yudai Baba, as always, ready to go from the opening tip. There have been some good moments for RYUKYU Golden Kings, but they have been few and far between, and that is a lot to do with the way this Nagasaki Velka team has played on both ends of the court. Lee getting the foul, going to the free throw line, and getting it done. But in every way imaginable, Lee Hyung-jun knocking down the threes. The main thing has been the defense for Nagasaki Velka. And I guess, Anthony, if this defense continues, the RYUKYU Golden Kings, I just don't know what they can do to come back in this game.
You know, Jeff, I think it's a combination of, number one, Nagasaki playing really tough, suffocating defense, but at the same time, there are some occasions where it doesn't seem like the Golden Kings exactly know where they want to go. Look at that lucky shot there from Jack Cooley.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking that was Alex Kirk that had made that, but Cooley, see Kirk here just an almighty struggle to get anything going. And that was the play of the game, really. Vic Law coming in for the offensive rebound to jam. And at that moment you thought, okay, well maybe RYUKYU can get it going, but Nagasaki just did not let up.
Well, it looked like the Golden Kings are trying to look for some highlight play similar to what you saw from Vic Law. On the other hand, Velka just going to basic basketball. Such as that.
Basic basketball. Basketball 101. I mean, that is another tough finish. So you consider the Cooley make, the Law make there. Some of the makes by RYUKYU Golden Kings just to score they've had to work so hard. And you can see that 1 of 16 from three-point range. That doesn't help. It's a little surprising they actually have an advantage of 8 on the glass, 15 offensive rebounds. But where Nagasaki have been great is after those offensive rebounds that Kirk and Cooley are so used to just getting, and Law and getting them and putting them back up and in. Those Velka bigs are just challenging everything.
Yes, and that's actually where you see the strength of Akil Mitchell. He has not scored, but he's actually battled those bigs, and he's really denied them easy baskets inside. So it's not going to show in the stat sheet, Jeff, but at the same time, I think Akil Mitchell has been very key to this big lead that they have right now.
Well, Brantley 10 points, Law 7, Cooley 8 rebounds, Lee Hyung-jun 3 rebounds, Akil Mitchell 5 as well. You wouldn't have thought he would have been the leading assist man, 5 assists, but whatever works. This is a historic game for Nagasaki. Their franchise, their fans, their players, obviously. You know, also we know that this is the last game for Karimata. Masai Karimata, and it's a historic because they've never been here. And Udai Baba as well. He's got the 7-point. Look at the key players. Yeah, I think we know who's winning that one. It's Kishimoto, just 1 of 9 from the floor. He hasn't made a three-pointer yet.
Come on, kid. Come on now. We got 20 minutes here. 20 minutes.
They haven't looked tired at all to me.
5 assists, Jeff, of Akil Mitchell. All of that was a product of the flow of their offense. They actually bring the ball inside, the defense collapses, and he finds the open shooters on the outside, or sometimes cutters from the weak side. Very interested to see the kind of adjustments from Coach Dayo Kitani here in the third quarter.
Well, there are sometimes subtle changes you can make. I don't know how many secrets there are between these two teams. I think they've played each other enough now, especially over the last few days. Sometimes it just comes down to the basics. Second half is underway. 36-23, Nagasaki on top of RYUKYU Golden Kings. And Cooley, and that is a great sign. And for the first time, he wasn't met with a body as he got to the basket.
Not to mention the fact that you see there was a nice flow to their offensive thrust. I'm a bit surprised that Coach Modimor is starting out with Udai Baba here, despite his 3 fouls.
And Brantley missing, but Baba with the rebound. Three-point shot from Brantley. Here's a 3, and Lee, and boy, you're chasing a team, trying to get something positive to happen, and then they knock down a 3 like that. Boy, that is soul destroying.
That will really kill you. That's a backbreaker, even if the third quarter just begun. You can see the contact being allowed here.
Oh.
It's going to be the 3rd personal foul on Ko Kumagai. Look at Ko out rebounding Jack Cooley.
And, oh boy, that is wonderful stuff there, Kishimoto. And twice now they've been able to get to the basket, so there is hope for RYUKYU Golden Kings. And there's a foul, Keely Mitchell.
Not exactly sure why he had to body check Kishimoto there. He should have been going towards the basket. He was going away from the basket. Watch it here. He should have made a straight line towards the hoop. That would have been better.
To be fair, you know that Kishimoto is looking for an opportunity to force the referee to make a call there, and he wins that one. Here he is driving in again on great recovery defensively. Kishimoto tried to get the ball to Cooley.
Very quickly, Stanley Johnson back onto the floor here.
Lee for 3. Long rebound to Cooley. They simply cannot allow drives into the paint. That's where they were really good in that first half. There's Lee, gets away. Cooley, oh, Cooley just barged. They're going to call the charge.
That's going to be number 3 on Jack Cooley. Even more trouble now for the Golden Kings.
He did not go full force into Brantley, but he went enough. He almost needed to have like a little jump stop. Oh, yeah. I think the referee got that right.
He did, and at the same time, again, we talked about that in the first half. That is not the game of Jack Cooley. He likes getting those offensive rebounds and putting it through. You cannot give him the ball past the free throw line and ask him to drive.
Brantley back outside. Kumagai for three. Yes!
That was wide open.
And as they try to shut down the lane, openings appear on the perimeter. And the best three-point shooting team in the B-League is making them pay. That's Iwaki. Thought about it, little turnaround. Oh, nice play. Well, we're already showing so much more rhythm, putting away offense that we didn't see in the first half. Putting away some opportunities. Kumagai. Back outside to Brantley. Kumagai again, little switch. Look at that. The speed almost got him a bucket.
It was a nice two-man game there. Just didn't work.
RYUKYU showing some heart. Not giving in. Believing in themselves. Big Law down low to Kirk. Oh, Kirk. They battle. It's Cooley. He stays with it, and he's fouled on the putback attempt.
And that is where he's most effective. Inside the shaded area, getting the offensive rebound, getting the foul, getting possible three-point play opportunities. Easy to say, you just have to put a body on Jack Cooley because he's a big body as well. He'll just bounce off him.
And gets the first to go. Third leading rebounder in the competition this season, 9.6. You know, if there has been a slight change or noticeable change in the second half, it's maybe from an intensity, physicality standpoint defensively, certainly on the boards for Nagasaki, but on the offensive end, they've started to look like the Nagasaki Velko that we've been accustomed to seeing. So can they pick it back up defensively and close this thing out? Well, Jack Cooley giving his team a little bit of hope. Here's Udai Baba. Oh, look at Brantley. Oh, that's a charge. No, he was in, I think he was in the semicircle, Kishimoto. And Brantley going to the line for a three-point play. Kishimoto trying to take one for the team and instead just takes a gut punch.
That's going to hurt because Kishimoto's going to pick up another.
No, he's outside. He was outside the semicircle.
Ooh.
But referee ruling.
That's why Kishimoto's complaining here.
Second foul on him. Brantley, sixth in steals. Really big fourth in assists. The league. It's been an exceptional season for him. Kirk open, decides to put it up, takes his time and shows the quality.
He doesn't take too many threes. He's got a good percentage. So if you're the defense, you will give him that.
Matsuyama playing tough D on Baba. Nice switches on to Brantley. Brantley, oh. They don't call a charge or a push off. Here's Lee from the corner. Got it!
That's a great three.
Dio Katani furious on the sidelines. He felt like Brantley pushed off.
And he's continuing to work on the referee there. But again, you got to play on. You got to play beyond that.
Well, they're definitely knocking down their threes right now.
Is that going to be a foul on Baba? It'll be number 4.
If it is, indeed. Wow. which if it's a closer game or if they're losing, then it's a big wow. But because they're leading by 13 points, probably something that Modi Mayor can cope with.
But from 13 points without Uday Baba here for the final 4:52 of the third, you might be entering the fourth quarter, just maybe possibly with a 4-point lead. Not to mention the fact that Nagasaki is now in the penalty once again.
Yeah, and defensively they're not quite as good in this quarter as they have been. Nagasaki, now the handoff. Kishimoto for three. Well, they needed that. There's a putback attempt, and again, Cooley goes up and fouled and going to the line in the strength of this RYUKYU Golden Kings team now coming into full view.
Well, Cooley now is going to head to the line, and with 2 free throws, he's now going to have a double-double if he makes both. Well, you can't question the desire of Jack Cooley. He's trying to will his team back in this final.
Three fouls on Brantley, so you got to keep an eye on that one as well. And also, Anthony, you know, let's revisit that game too when it felt like Nagasaki Velka really struggled to put RYUKYU away in that fourth quarter. So, you know, more to your point, there's still a long way to go, but RYUKYU Golden Kings cannot afford to be missing free throws.
We're not going to see Uday Baba until probably the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Another missed free throw.
Goodness.
Even the putback's not going to drop. That's a double black eye there, Jeff.
Ball batted out of bounds. It's going back over to RYUKYU.
I thought Stanley Johnson had the momentum to just go straight to the cup.
(47-34) Nagasaki Velka. Feels like this is the key moment in this game for both teams. Really, can they make inroads? And Kirk, and a little bit of bully ball for the Golden Kings, closing it to 11. Baba on the bench with fouls. You want to work for a good shot. You don't want to just put up a crazy three here. That's not nice play by Brantley. Gets inside, goes in, misses. And another opportunity for the Golden Kings. Oh. And boy, what a break. Oh no, they're going to say that Lee did not touch it. So bad turnover for Kikuchi, trying to make something happen.
I agree,
Kishimoto,
a very bad turnover. Because it just seemed like slowly but surely the Golden Kings were trying to get some of that momentum.
Yeah, he just lost it. Oh, that looked to me like it went off of Lee.
Well, Lee picked it up and then it was snapped on the back here from Matsuaki.
Those guys are so fast, it's hard to see. With the quick hands. Onadair coming into the game. Well, this is exciting stuff, folks.
Dotson's on the floor as well. Here's that combination that has really not worked. Let's see if it does now. Kirk and Law.
Well, it looked like good defense from Law there. They blow the whistle. It's the second time in this game. Okay, here does he? No, he kind of. Well, I mean, yes, it's physical. Shirt grab. Looked like Johnson was actually grabbing the jersey of Law as he got in there. Brantley goes out.
That's a good substitution because Brantley's got 3. Mitchell only with 2.
Kumagai into the paint, outside, three-pointer, Yamaguchi. And good rebound, Kumagai. And Kirk finally comes down with it. So Kishimoto had his hands full with Kumagai there. Maybe fortunate they didn't blow the whistle. There's Kirk. Starting to see the best, a little bit better from Kirk as well. A little bit more assertive. Here he goes, going up against Johnson. Over to Onodera. Oh, are you kidding me? Around the rim and off the backboard and in. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Smile. That's why he's got a big smile. But at this stage, they'll take it. That's going to cut the lead down to 8.
He has hit 2 big three-pointers. That was clearly the biggest. And whistle blows. I don't believe this will count.
No, it's not. It's an offensive foul on Johnson.
Wow. And slowly but surely, now this game, it really felt like Nagasaki Velka had complete control of this game late in the first half. Ooh. Wow. And give RYUKYU Golden Kings credit. They have battled away, closed the gap, got a little bit of luck on that last 3 from Onodera. Maybe they deserved a little bit of luck. And we've got a timeout. Stanley Johnson does indeed pick up his 2nd foul. That was the, look at this, around. So it wasn't actually a clear around, but it got a lot of rim, and then some love got knocked in off the backboard. And he goes, that's exactly how I meant it to go in. I wanted it to go off the rim 3 times and off the backboard. The degree of difficulty, that's my plan. Sometimes, as my father used to always tell me, it's better to be lucky than good.
Well, you're definitely going to need some luck if you want to win the championship. So they're right back in it, and again, because Yudai Baba is on the bench, cooling his heels with 4 personal fouls.
Well, probably, if he's not the best defender in this team, he's one of the best. Hard to say between he, Johnson, and Brantley, but when they're all out there together, it is suffocating. It is physical, and as we saw in the first half, almost impossible to have any success. But now it feels like the Golden Kings have a way back into the game. They're only down 8. Kishimoto. And the onus, oh, look at this, nice touch pass to Kirk, and Kirk is becoming involved, and he's fouled! Unbelievable!
That's going to be number 3 on Akil Mitchell as well. So the world imports of Velka are now in foul trouble.
Well, more to the point, all of these important players in foul trouble. Well, he's so good defensively, Kirk, with his long arms, but he has been a major factor in this 3rd quarter. I actually thought he was playing just, it wasn't for a lack of effort, but he was kind of being dominated in that first half. He wasn't having any success. It's a different story right now. Yudai Baba's like, come on. I've got 4 fouls. I know I can't go back in yet. Just don't let this lead erode too much. And another missed free throw. And 6 points, the difference. And now it feels like a long way to go in this game. Just under 12 minutes. Yamaguchi for 3. Yes! Well, you said it at the start of the game. He's a difference maker. He needs to be one. And there he was. Dotson back in the game. They've had some success with the bigs. Will they continue to do that? Here's Dotson. Wall stays outside. And this time, Perk not able to corral it. How long before we see Jack Cooley? Oh, Brantley doesn't mess around, gets it right up. And excellent work, Kumagai. 3-point shot, and that is huge.
That was an offensive rebound. That was actually a tip. So you could give him a rebound and an assist because that push went straight to Stanley Johnson.
I mean, we got to be honest here. You talk about players in this Nagasaki Velka team. That man right there feels kind of like the heart and soul of this team. Everything that he does, the intensity, the effort, the defense, the extra play right here. He gets him an extra possession. I think the word underrated comes to mind when thinking about Kumagai. If he can be underrated while starting for the for the best team in the league. So the three-point shooting is still not good for RYUKYU Golden Kings. But they have been chipping away. Cooley has been sitting down. He's rested, refreshed, ready to go.
You know, Jeff, that's a big blow because they got that lead down to 6, and suddenly Yamaguchi hits, Johnson hits, and when you take a look at the scoreboard, once again, it's an imposing lead.
Oh, nice pass down low. Nadera snuck in there. Well, you'll take him any way you can get him right now. Nadera having to stick with the taller lead. Rather have him out on the perimeter right now. Oh. Nadera sends them tumbling to the hardwood.
Well, they're not yet in the penalty, so they are now with no free throws yet for Lee.
It's okay with 35 seconds to go. First foul on Shota Onodera. Sadahara. Feels like there's going to be a few twists in the tail in this game. Do not go anywhere. This RYUKYU Golden Kings playing their hearts out. Trying to get their second title since 2023 and trying to avoid losing 3 finals in a row. Of course, they beat Resona Brex in an upset in the semifinals. Brantley into the lane. Well, they have identified the mismatches and exploited them very well today.
Well, he was very patient there in that attack. There was no double that came, so he got it as close as he possibly could and hit the jump hook.
Nice handles from Kishimoto, and I love how this time he laid it up instead of flicking it up there. So oftentimes he kind of flicks it. And boy, tip your hat to this Golden Kings team. They have given themselves a chance. It's 55-45. Nagasaki Velka leading it with 10 minutes remaining. $13,235 fans in the Yokohama Arena. That turnout. Of course, it's all about not just the finals, it's about the season. It is about basketball, well and truly one of the most popular sports in this country. They turn out every weekend, all over the place. They turn out midweek games. It is a massive event, and this is the climax for the B-League.
Actually, the basketball has made major inroads here in Japan. They were a very far sport compared to baseball and football years ago, but right now, they're really closing the gap.
I think what see the past winning teams again go back to 2016-17 season, and you see Brex won it. Excuse me. You see the Golden Kings won it 2023. Brex obviously have won it. That's Toshiba Brex once, and then Utsunomiya Brex. Chiba Jets have had their time in the sun. Now it's Nagasaki Velka, and for a team again that was only founded several years ago. What an incredible achievement to make it through the B2 and here on the biggest stage, going up against one of the real giants of Asian basketball, the RYUKYU Golden Kings.
They actually started in B3.
B3, B2.
So talk about getting to the pinnacle here of basketball, as you said. That's a great achievement. In fact, just to make it to the finals is an achievement in itself, but these guys want everything.
Oh yeah, you don't want to lose in the finals. Oh, I think Lee might have charged. No, they're going to call the block.
Well, we said Lee has got to be able to be consistent in all 4 quarters, and you can see exactly what Coach Modimore did. He designed the play strictly for Lee to go straight to the cup.
Maybe size advantage on Shota, but at the end of the day, he was still dribbling right at him, so it wasn't so much the size advantage. Yeah, that was a really close call. Lee gets to the line, makes the first.
You saw there on your screens, Yudai Baba still in the freezer here. He might be unleashed, possibly the 7-minute mark. Especially, or much earlier, if that lead goes beyond double digits.
He makes both free throws. What do you think the winner's going to do for a title celebration tonight? A little bit of karaoke?
I think that and a whole lot of sushi as well.
Here is Dotson. He has just had zero impact on this game offensively. Not allowed to operate at all.
And a nice block from the back as well. Coming in to help Stanley Johnson with a block right there in the back. Let's see if you can see that in the replay. Here it is. Boom.
Yeah, that's just no chance. Not with those two guys. That was a Dotson sandwich. So, all the hard work, but now down by 12. And once again, facing a big uphill battle. Johnson doesn't go. Good rebound. Waki.
Interesting lineup that we have here from Coach Dayo Kitani. Only 2 imports on the floor.
Oh, what a spin. What a... Oh, and if he had made that shot, it would have been a 3-point play opportunity for Sadahara. Spectacular move.
One of the few times we've seen Coach Daye going to a small lineup here.
Small ball. Although he does have Cooley and Kirk out on the court.
Well, Stanley Johnson is going to be called for a foul there. That's going to be number 3 as well on Johnson. So 3 players in foul trouble. Yudai Baba with 4.
So Kishimoto sitting down. He'll be revving the engines, ready to go probably by the 5-minute mark, you would think.
Well, now that they're trying to make headway, I'm surprised he's on the bench.
Sadahara is an intriguing player to me. Misses the second one.
He's going to get a replacement free throw here, though. So Kumagai entered a little bit too early.
Oh, this is the second one as well. They battle. They scrap. So here comes Kumagai and Nagasaki Velka.
I like what Lee has done. Lee has come into that paint and has helped out in terms of rebounding. That has been a big help.
Ooh.
RYUKYU number 53, Alex Scott, first personal, team's third.
Well, I think really Stanley Johnson has put that disappointing game from game one well and truly behind him. He has come out with the right attitude the last two games. He has been focused, laser focused. Here he is again. Goes in, tries to get the foul. This time does not. They're just not going to call that one. Now Waki quickly at the floor, has it knocked away, and Lee's going to be all alone. Lee, and just goes, oh, I thought he was going to go old school, and then he does dunk it.
Well, Waki was out of control there. Went up against the entire defense of Velka and lost it in the process. And he apologizes because that was clearly his fault.
Yep, maturity. 24 years of age. $13 points. The difference. Here it is again. I think that probably has more to do with Kumagai than Waki. I don't think it was necessarily the bad play by Waki. It's yet another testament to the excellence of Kumagai. He is tenacious.
But again, Jeff, what I really question is you're needing to be able to come back here. You're down by a lot. You need to have your main man on the floor in Kishimoto.
Yeah, maybe he's just resting a little bit and he's going to come back in. Here's a pass out to the... His pass. Oh, tough shot. Makes it! Wow. And now it looks like he's coming up limp. He might have to come out. Kishimoto, I think, is going to come in for Law, potentially. Who's limping around. Looks like maybe a groin, possibly. Nice move on the baseline. Three-point shot. Misses. And they're going to check Vic Law, who's going to clearly get some treatment and see if he can come back out, because, hey, this is a guy that can make shots, as we just saw, in difficult circumstances. And for whatever reason, Dotson has kind of not fit in well in this series. He sits down, gosh knows. That could not have happened at a worse time for Law.
Exactly, he just made that basket.
So Kishimoto is in the game. Yes, I like this. Go to Cooler, let him go to work. Gets back outside, Sadahara, feet set, got it up! And it's a 7-point game!
Well, you expected his fight back.
I like Sadahara, he's physical, he's not afraid of the moment. Here's Brantley, oh, Brantley goes in, misses a dunk, what a break for Velka. Matsuwaki almost walked. Boy, so many times we've seen Matsuwaki knock down three-pointers, not so much in this series. Oh, nice pass, and there it is again, and Sadahara. The cream rising to the top, playing these clutch minutes, showing his real potential. 59-54. Is this the moment? Another turnover, miscommunication, Sadahara. Oh, and good recovery. And quite possibly, that would have been a good time for Sadahara just to take it outside. And Baba has to come back in now, Akili Mitchell as well. But this RYUKYU Golden Kings showing you they have championship DNA. They believe.
Now let's see if the Golden Kings try to attack Uday Baba, who just checked in. As you mentioned, he does have 4 personal fouls. but he's a key. The longer he's on the floor, it's a good sign for Velka. He's on Kishimoto.
Oh,
Kishimoto just blows by
unbelievable
him.
finish. It's a three-point game.
This is fitting of game number 3. Remember the meltdown that Velka had in game number 2? They just hung on to victory, but again, there's a big basket from Baba.
Well, that was huge, but you can only draw one conclusion from that. The state of RYUKYU Golden Kings for the majority of the first half, it feels like they have risen from the dead. This did not look possible early on. They are fighting. Look at Sadahara again. Look at the toughness. Getting in. The follow. Oh, Kirk misses the follow, but then Matsawaki gets it. He's surrounded. And the great defense from Nagasaki Velka. They get it back. Well,
so a missed dunk a while ago by Brantley. A missed dunk here by Kirk.
Kirk has come to play, but yeah. That's the right thing to do. You don't want to take any chances. You want to dunk it. So that's what makes it frustrating for Kirk and for RYUKYU Golden Kings if he didn't get it to go in. Step back for Johnson. Great hustle, Baba. Not sure that's what Nagasaki want. Maybe attack the basket, get fouled, go to the line.
That is a precarious 5-point lead right now for Nagasaki, especially the way they've begun this 4th period. Very shaky.
Well, you know where we are right now, Anthony. We are in winning time. This is when they make the plays to win games. 3-point shot, Kishimoto. Oh, boy, he was long on that. Oh, Cooley with the push. A clear push from Cooley.
That's going to be number 4.
Well, he needs to be shouting at himself. That's so obvious, that one. Clear push, looked like with his left hand. Well, I still think Diakatani has to be really a mixture of relief and also pride that his team has put itself into. But look at that. If he didn't push him, well, he had his left hand on his back. So 4 fouls on Cooley. And with 4:55 remaining, the big question for me now is how are they going to approach on offense Nagasaki? Well, Sadahara's got some real excitement to his game. Sadahara, 26 years old, averaged 6.4 points per game in the season, 1.2 assists, 2.4 rebounds, but he also has, he's got a nice shape to his body. He's big, kind of big, strong. He's bigger than I think he looks. He's strong and clearly fearless. Joined RYUKYU this season from FE Nagoya, Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Before that is with Hiroshima.
Well, a while ago during the huddle, Vic Law actually went up to the coaching staff and said he was good to go. Let's see when they try to unleash him. Just too important on the floor right now.
Nagasaki Velka, the pressure on them. They do not want their opponent to be going the other way to try to cut it to 3 or 2. I like it. I like the drive. That's more like it. Don't settle for jumpers. Attack the basket. 20 for Lee, the Korean superstar.
Exactly. Coming off that timeout, Jeff, they designed the play specifically for him once again, going to the cup.
Johnson picks up foul number 4. Wow.
Who's going to be on the floor for this game to end it with all these fouls?
I think you have to give real props to Johnson for the way he's defended against Kirk for most of this game. But in that situation, you don't want to pick up your fourth foul that far away from the basket.
So Cooley now relieved.
Matter.
Cooley off the floor with his 4 personal fouls. Here comes Vic Law.
Gus has got to be careful. Looks like he's grabbing the jersey. And the whistle blows.
5-second violation. Not what you want to see.
Not at all.
I'm not saying you could have easily scored, but at the same time, you want to at least have an attempt. Not come up with a turnover.
That's almost unforgivable. That's unforgivable, not getting the basketball in bounds in that situation. This is going to feel like a dagger if it goes in. Bounce pass out to Lee. Back to Udai Baba. Shot clock down to 7. Baba showing the handles. A little turnaround. And Dotson gets a huge rebound. Another 4 minutes to go. Here's Dotson. Oh, knocked out of his hands. He's looking for a foul, but no whistle. Matsumoto. That's Karimata, rather, this last game for him. Here's the drive. Dotson gets in. Good defense. Kishimoto gets it back. He gets it to the corner. Dotson. Good attempt at the rebound from Sadahara.
He has tried his very best, but nothing is going down here for Damian. He only has 1 rebound. And now there's going to be a coach's challenge, I believe, because they feel they should get possession of this basketball.
Well, both teams use this as a timeout as well. Have a look.
I thought that was off Sadohara.
Yeah, I did too. Certainly in live play. Well, what you don't want to do is finish the game without having used it, that's for sure.
And there's the call. They've lost the challenge.
Wow. Well, every call is big.
And it was actually Dotson that was asking for the challenge and not Sadohara.
But 3:41 remaining. Again, I mean, it could be that they're going to wish they hadn't used that challenge in that situation, especially if it was obvious. But you don't want to finish the game without using the challenge. 63-56. Still time, but you know what? When you trail in this game by as many as 16 points, the way that the Golden Kings have, it is a long way back. It's tough to claw it all the way back. Here's Lee. Left open.
And again, you can see there, Akil Mitchell being a real thorn, gets him another possession. Again, these are things that are not going to show in the stat sheet, but again,
well,
he's doing his job.
This is interesting. He's going to the free throw line, and I just wonder, remember, Mitchell has been a little iffy.
Yes, that's one of the chinks in his armor, correct.
So if you
that's
commit
why
that foul on somebody.
Jack Cooley there, most likely he'll get those defensive boards. But first and foremost, 2 shots here for Akil.
So Mitchell, what are we talking about? Makes it look easy, makes the first. Charlotte native, played at University of Virginia. Played around the world. Now the home in Japan. So it's Cooley with 4 fouls for the Golden Kings. Johnson, in fact, Stanley Johnson, Johnson has 4 fouls, and Baba 4 fouls for Nagasaki. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. If he makes this, it gets a little bit harder. He does not. It's an 8-point game.
Golden Kings got to score here. 2 or a 3.
Oh,
that was a poor
awesome
pass.
defense by Baba. Diving for the basketball. Just an incredible example for young Japanese players, the way he plays this game. And really, when your best player, well, if you want to call him their best player, plays like that, it's contagious. Everybody knows they have to play that hard. Onodera gets it inbounds. Pressure building on Nagasaki. They cannot afford to have a possession where they don't score. Kishimoto, shot clock about to expire. He's going to have to chuck up a difficult shot. He does get it up. Misses everything.
Again, that was Akil Mitchell there on the denial and on the challenge.
Kumagai with the handles, gets in. They get it back to Johnson for 3. Now that was a good shot because they made that extra pass.
And they get an open shot.
Onodera thought about putting it up. Here's Law. Tough shot. Gets it to go! And that's why, even if he's playing on one leg, he needs to be on the court.
Those are the shots he is capable of making. He made one earlier from that exact same spot.
Just the makeup of that man on full display, just giving every ounce of energy that he's got here just to get to the finish line in this final Game 3. Johnson outside, Baba got it!
Again, they collapsed the defense. You had to react to Johnson inside, and Uday Baba was wide open on the outside for 3.
Well, they have made a lot more three-pointers in the second half than they did in the first, and it's been probably the difference for them in this half, because RYUKYU Golden Kings have really come out strong. Look at this again. Wide open. His feet were set. He catches it just like in practice. Follow through, textbook.
Well, Baba and Lee are 2 of those individuals you cannot give that much time or they'll really make you pay.
We have those defenders we need. They will press. They will press. Set the ball up. Court, you can ghost for Stanley. Go screen. But with 8 seconds, you can ghost. Everybody come back.
Well, 0 of 9, it's not what you expect to see when you look at Ryuichi Kishimoto.
Well, he's happy to be playing here as compared to being injured in last year's final. But again, that is not a stat that he's going to want to look at. 0 out of 9 from deep, wherein he's one of the best three-point shooters we have in the league.
But in fairness to him, he's kind of adjusted his game in the second half. If the shots aren't falling, he's made some big plays, driving to the basket. He's got 13 points. But it's going to have to be something special here at the end for RYUKYU Golden Kings.
But he's capable of hitting the outside shot. You still got to stay on him.
There's Law again. Well, he had the hot hand. It made sense. And there's Kirk, and he goes up. Great intensity from Alex Kirk in the second half. Back to 2-possession game. Now it's all about getting a stop. And definitely the clock is the enemy right now for this Ryukyu Golden Kings team. So Nagasaki wanting to take as much time off as possible. Baba again, and long. Only 9 remaining. We're going to see something spectacular here at the end. Ryukyu Golden
they need
Kings.
to score.
Boy, Johnson flirting with the foul. And the foul before the shot.
That's a nice
Only
seal
the
there.
third team foul. That is not going to get them to the free throw line. There's still one more foul to give.
But again, a very good foul by Kumagai as he got switched off to Jack Cooley. That saved him an easy 2 points.
Inbound to Law. And does get the foul called on Mitchell. He was almost playing for the foul there more than anything, and they got him to blow the whistle. So 2 free throws. Now
Clearly
4 fouls on
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Exactly. Left his feet. No question about that one. He just gotta stay down.
I think Montemayor and Paul Henare deserve so much credit for getting their team ready to play defense today. I think that has been the difference in this game. The way they played in that first half, the way they've continued to play in the second. But there is still time on the clock for the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
Daya Kitani now going offense, defense substitutions. Having to sit down Jack Cooley because he does have 4 personal fouls. But they're going to need a stop, regardless of these free throws. Yes, you're on TV.
Just a little bit of extra time, I think, well received by Big Law, just to catch his breath. Takes his time, and, well, he didn't cash in. He misses. If you miss one, you want to miss the second, not the first.
That's going to be their 5th miss. Check that, their 6th miss. They're shooting well below 65% right now from the free throw line.
And he does sink the second.
So Brantley's on the floor. Brantley can create. So you've got Johnson, Baba, and you also have Brantley that can create really for their squads.
Just can't say enough about Law, how much he's played today, what he's put out there. I mean, the effort has been there. Played almost 29 minutes. Skip pass. Taking valuable seconds off the clock, and Baba goes in for the dunk.
There might be a technical foul here called on Kirk because there was a foul called already. And he decked Baba.
He was going for the dunk, and Kirk was making sure he was not going to be able to get the dunk. So I don't think Baba has anything to complain about there.
So now both squads are in the penalty.
Kirk probably the kind of player that you love it when he's on your team, and you hate him when he's on the other team. But of course, Baba and Kirk are teammates in the Japan national team. So here's Baba, goes to the line. Oh, just feels like this is Udai Baba's big moment, doesn't it?
Well, if he makes this free throw, that's going to give them a whole lot more space. Maybe they might want to think of bringing in Masaya Karimata here for the final seconds.
Well, the captain, his long career coming to an end after this game. Baba, makes the second. Well, Walks over to the bench, and they know as well as anybody else this thing is not over, even with 41.1 seconds left and a 7-point lead. So they got to focus in on the coach. .1 seconds remaining. Game 3 here in the B-League Finals. It's do or die. And right now, it's Nagasaki Velka that are doing. But Anthony, let's just trot out all of the old phrases. Where there's hope, there's life. And there is hope for RYUKYU Golden Kings.
Well,
they need to make
last year's
a
final.
bucket.
And not that way.
Now Law's pass inbounds stolen. Nagasaki Velka closing in on arguably, I think indisputably, their greatest moment in club history. They've had the success in the B3, the B2, but just after several years closing in on the title, the first B-League title.
And now you've got Lee, who's a dead shot from the free throw line, and I jinxed him.
You did.
And I was about ready to say, now you can bring in Masaya Karimata after these 2 free throws. Now you're not going to be able to with a split. But it's still a 3-possession ball game, Jeff.
Unless you get a 4-point play. Oh, and he misses
he
another
misses
one.
both. Amazing.
Law looks for an opening, gets up a 3, misses everything. Cooley gets it, a rebound. It's a 5-point game. It's not over, folks. Crazier things have happened. And there will be a timeout here.
I like that timeout here. Because a lot of times you allow your players to still inbound the ball, and you saw what happened a while ago with Vic Law.
That's right.
If there's a mistake on the inbound and they're able to score, that brings that down to 2 or possibly 3. So you want to be able to at least give your team the exact situation, advance the basketball as well, and calm their nerves.
You know, there is Karimata again playing in his, or this is his last game today. That was a great timeout. Now you say, why was that a great timeout? Of course you're going to call a timeout, but you need to call the timeout. You need to sit down, remind your guys, hey, 5-point lead. We don't need to rush up a bad shot. Let's be smart. Let's get the ball into the hands of this player. So they've got Kurt guarding the inbounds pass. And they do get it to Lee. So exactly, they get it to the good free throw shooter, despite the fact that he did miss 2 just a minute ago. You would think he's the guy that you want to shoot the free throws.
That's extreme confidence from Coach Modimauer. As you said, he just missed 2 a while ago, but still, he is the primary guy you're looking for in the inbounds. 7 misses from the free throw line for Velka. Not that time.
Karimata sitting back, wishing to see what he does the next phase of his life. I'm pretty certain that he's going to maybe not have an early night tonight. And both free throws good this time from Lee. And the lead goes to 7. Kishimoto, look at Kumagai, continues to play rock solid defense. And the defense, which has been the story of the game, has once again just slammed the door shut. And Udai Baba and a team that, let's be honest, they raised so many eyebrows at the start of this season. Okay, they maybe had one small hiccup during the season a couple months ago, but overall it's hard to take issue with how good this team has been this year.
I totally agree. And now, again, don't call me sentimental, Jeff, but don't you think it might be good after this free throw? You might be able to send Masaya in.
Now
Give
that
him one more couple of seconds on the floor. This is a one-ball game.
It could be that the coach doesn't want to embarrass him by doing that, so he hasn't played. Anyway, 71-64, Nagasaki closing in on their first title. RYUKYU Golden Kings needing a major miracle, and I don't think they're going to get it. They need a 4-point play here if they can get it. Kishimoto, gets it to the corner, and that's it. An incredible moment for the Nagasaki Velka, winning the B-League for the first time in their history and defeating the RYUKYU Golden Kings, sending them to a 3rd successive defeat in the B-League Finals. It's been a tough pill to swallow for this RYUKYU Golden Kings team, especially after they opened up with a 1-0 lead. This year they did have Kishimoto, no excuses, but Nagasaki Velka, on the strength of that incredible defense, richly deserve this championship as Karimata, the retiring captain, hugs Baba, and just a wonderful moment for Nagasaki, for those guys, and Baba gives them the game ball. And Anthony, if you are sentimental, I bet you're crying right now.
That's why I'm not talking. But again,
72-64. Everybody wants to hug the captain.
Oh, for sure. Coach Modi Maor saying we have gotten to the pinnacle of Japanese basketball. And a tremendous showing still by the RYUKYU Golden Kings. But again, Kishimoto just not able to come up with even a B-plus game. I felt that a B-plus game, this might have been a little bit more competitive, but not hitting any of his three-point shots, 0 out of 9. That will not get it done for the Golden Kings.
I just, I would not want to lay it at his feet, and I'll tell you why. I just feel like that first half, when you put up most of those threes, this Nagasaki defense was about as good and tough as any defensive effort that we have seen in the B-League this season. There was nowhere to go. I mean, it was so obvious. Even the shots that went in were, just really difficult. RYUKYU Golden Kings fought their hearts out in the second half. I mean, give them credit. They did not, they left it on the court. And I just think Nagasaki had a better team.
You can see the disappointment there on Onodera, but you can't come up with the kind of start that they had in the first half. They only scored 10 points in the first quarter. The second quarter, they came up with 13. So they ended the half with just 23 points. That in itself really put you in a huge hole. Again, as you said, credit to them. They were able to come back. They cut that lead down to 4 at one stage. But again, if you spot your opponent that much of a lead and you're playing catch-up most of the way, you're going to fall short more oftentimes than not.
Yeah, I just don't think. I mean, you focus on the amount of points that were scored, but what that tells me more than anything was that Nagasaki were just playing incredible defense. I'm sure that Modi Mayor is just going to say, hey, listen, our defense kind of set the tone for this game today. And I don't know, Anthony, we've watched a lot of B-League over the years. How do you evaluate this season compared to anything else? I'm not sure that we have seen as an intense final, physicality-wise, execution-wise, defensively. I don't think it's been as good as we've just seen it.
I agree. And I think the best is still yet to come for Japanese basketball. They're making so much inroads. And again, you know, the talent level just continues to grow year in, year out. We see a lot of these players coming straight out of college, and that's what they have, the program that they have in the B-League, where you're 18, 19 years old, still in college, they allow you to play in the B-League after the second half, after the All-Star break, and that has helped a lot of these young stars develop their game even further. And I think that that's just the tip of the iceberg. We see guys in the NBA. You saw what Yuta Watanabe, who played in the NBA for a couple of years, decided to come back here in the B-League. And again, I think we're just going to be able to see more and more players, not just in the NBA, not just in Europe, but, you know, even in Asia, excelling here.
This is a dream finish for Karimata. He could not have asked for a better send-off. With Baba and Lee, as well as they played today, Brantley, Johnson, all of those guys, Mitchell, they played hard. So now the post game.
まずは長崎を B リーグチャンピオンに導きましたモーディ・マオールヘッドコーチです。おめでとうござ
So
いま
let's
す。
hear from Modi Mayor.
勝てば優勝という第3戦、勝利につながったのはどんなところでしょうか。
I can't think right now.
ちょっと今考えられません。相手の追撃をかわす
Whatever I
形、
say, I'll forget so many important reasons.
まあその勝利した要因っていうのはたくさんあるんですけども、
But this place has an incredible heart.
本当このチームはハートが素晴らしいですし、
And it starts from the top
でそれは本当にこの組織の上から
and goes all the way through.
本当に下のメンバー全員がしっかりハートを持ってくれているので、
I think that's what brought this home.
だから今日勝てたと思っています。長崎はこのレギュラーシーズンも1位でこの CS に乗り込んできました。改めて長崎ベルカのこのチームの強みというのはどんなところなんでしょうか。
Honestly, this is a pretty complete team.
本当にこのチームっていうのはそのコンピート、競争心が本当に激しいチームで、
We had the best offense in the history of B-League.
オフェンスの数字でいうとB リーグで過去一番ですし、
We won this championship series holding a team like RYUKYU to 60 points every game.
でただ一方ディフェンスに関してもこの素晴らしい琉球さんを64点に今日こうやって抑えたりとか、
Incredible character, incredible talent, and incredible fans.
本当に全員素晴らしいキャラクターだったりそのハートだったり、あと素晴らしいファンの方々がいるからだと思っています。おめでとうございました。続いて選手へのインタビューです。まずはイ・ヒョンジュン選手お越しください。
Well, as expected, he touched on his team's defense. It really feels like Nagasaki Velka have kind of set a new standard
で
now.
はイ・ヒョンジュン選手です。
Let's
B リー
listen
グチャ
to
ンピオンおめでとうござい
Lee
ます。
Hyung-jung.
今日試合を振り返ると馬場選手がファウルがかさんで後半は思うようにプレーすることができませんでした。その中イ・ヒョンジュン選手はコートに立ち続けました。後半どんな思いでチームでプレーをしていたんでしょうか。
Well,
we trusted all the teammates. I think everyone in our team is an incredible player, and then someone's in foul trouble, and we all believe that someone's going to step it up. So.
本当に自分はチームメートを常に信頼していますし、誰か一人がファウルトラブル、雄大選手がファウルトラブルになってしまっても自分は本当にチームを信頼しているので、本当にチームを信頼し続けてこういう結果になったと思っています。
さあそして個人としてもこのシーズンを振り返ると驚異的なスリーポイントシュートの確率、さらに CS では驚異的なフリースローの確率も残しました。この今シーズンどう振り返りますか？
I wouldn't be able to do it without my teammates.
まず本当にこのような素晴らしいチームメイトがいなかったらこういうような数字っていうのは結果出せてなかったので。
They believed me. They found me open. They set a great screen for me, so I want to give credit to them.
本当みんなが自分のことを信じてくれて、いいスクリーンをしっかりかけてくれて、いいパスを出してくれて、だからそういうしっかりシュートが入るようになったと思っているので、本当チームメイトのおかげだと思っています。
So I want to say it's a team award.
本当にチームのおかげで自分のこの数字は上がってきたと思っています。
本当におめでとうございました。イ・ヒョンジュン選手でした。
乾杯。
では最後に馬場選手を
So
お
it's
越しく
good
だ
when
さ
they
い。
credit the teammates, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And at the same time, it was a total team effort here, Jeff. No question about it. Of course, standouts like Yudai Baba, of course, was there. Lee was there.
優
Johnson
勝
was
の
there.
瞬
But
間、
again,
チームメイトと
everybody
抱き合いました。
contributed.
狩本
Even
選手
guys
とも抱
like
き合いました。どんな思い
Yamaguchi.
が込み上げてきたんでしょうか。
もう狩俣さんが引退を発表してから彼のために毎日時間を過ごしてきたので、この瞬間を彼と分かち合いたいと思って実際に分かち合えて最高の気分です。
残り6分半でこの第4クォーター残り6分半でこの試合に戻ってきました。どんな思いでコートに戻ってきたんでしょうか。
もうね、ファールがね、初めてじゃないので今回がチームには迷惑をかけたんですけど、こうしてファイナルという舞台で、山口選手の活躍であったり、星川選手の活躍であったりすごく僕と同じようなポジションの若い選手たちが時間を作ってくれて頼もしくなったなと思いました。
では最後の質問です。この長崎の皆さんと共に戦い続けたここまでの戦い、どういうふうに振り返りますか。
もう記者会見で言っていますけど、もうマスターのためもそうですし、本当にこの3シーズンの間すごく苦しい時間もありましたけど、常に背中を押してくれた長崎の皆さんのために戦ってきたので、これで少し恩返しできたかなとは思います。
おめでとうございました。馬場選手でした。
一ついいですか。勝ったバイ。
おめでとうございました。インタビューは以上です。
Well, you compare this team to last season, every season different, obviously, but you bring in Ko Kumagai, you bring in Lee Hyung-jun, you bring in Stanley Johnson, and it's clear those three guys took a really good team, but made them so much better. And Modi Mayor talked about how I feel like we've got about as complete team as you can have. And so, again, sometimes you forget the Kuma guys. Maybe they don't get the ink, but those guys are huge in the grand scheme of things. And they really, whatever they talked about last summer about going out and winning this title, they set that plan in motion and executed it about as well as it could be executed.
Well, nothing to be ashamed of for Dayo Kitani and the rest of his squad, but again, it is disappointing. 3 straight bridesmaid finishes. That's really going to hurt. But that's still an achievement in itself here, Jeff, to be able to make it to 3 straight finals.
Well, Baba, Baba said, we played this for Karimata this season, our outgoing captain. As for me, I had a lot of fouls. The Yamaguchi and Hoshikawa, they played well while I was out. And, well, we struggled for 3 seasons, but we won this one for the Nagasaki fans. So thanks, fans. We are champions. So good words from Baba. But the toughness of this team, never more was that toughness evident than in this finals. The way they had to bounce back from losing game 1. You know, you lose game 1. The Golden Kings have all the momentum, but the Golden Kings, even after that game, you could see that they knew this thing had a long way to go. And so it proved, as Nagasaki just really proved to be the class of the B-League this season.
Well,
and now they'll try to build on this.
That's right. People are saying they were destined to win this after dominating the regular season. But there was a little hiccup there in game number 1 of the finals, as you mentioned. And they had a faltering finish, actually, in that game to win. It wasn't really that impressive. It was impressive how they got to the big lead, but then they lost it in the 4th quarter. Had to hold on, but in the end, they dominated today.
それではこれよりリソナグループ B リーグファイナル 2025-26 表彰式を行います。
So the proverbial team photo after the championship that will mark this occasion for eternity. The players huddled up. And you know what? Throughout your career, Anthony, I'm sure you would agree with me, it's Baba. Has Baba just been named MVP?
I think so. I think so. And
wow. I thought
that's
my
justified.
Japanese isn't great, but I think that was it.
It is. You're right.
But these are the things that players remember more than anything else in their careers. It's the fact that they win championships. So you can get all the individual awards that you want, you can get all the MVPs, but the fact that you win the title, that is what you are going to remember more than anything. And Yudai Baba, I think that is a fitting selection because of the way he kind of demonstrated that toughness in game 1. He came out, he played really hard. Despite the loss, he was probably their most consistent player in these finals. Defensively, do you remember, diving for the ball defensively, landing, full out, going out of bounds? I think great leaders set great examples, and Baba did just that.
If you look back to that game 1 of the finals, when they came up short, they lost that one by just 2 points, but still, they would not have been in the game if it wasn't for the points of Yudai Baba in the 1st quarter. They would have gotten blown out in game number 1. But he kept them in the ball game.
MVP に輝いたのはイ・ヒョンジュン選手です。おめでとうございます。
Or has it been Lee? So Lee also getting some recognition.
Well, if you choose Lee or if you choose Yudai Baba, either of these two are excellent choices. Definitely, without these two, there would be no championship for Nagasaki Velka.
Yeah, so true. I mean, I think either one would be deserving.
So one gets a trophy, the other one gets cash. 1 million yen was given to Yudai Baba a while ago. Now a trophy here for Hyunjung Lee.
Well,
so both important and vital cogs.
If Baba gets $1 million yen, we know who's buying dinner tonight.
That's for certain. Don't you think Modi Maor should buy dinner?
I do think so. Yeah, so Lee is indeed the MVP. But I think more than anything, what he's going to cherish is the title. So a great moment for him, great moment for Korea. Let's don't forget, you know, he is the, I would argue, the real presence in that Korea national team. He was the guy that was crying when he was walking off the court after they lost in the quarters at the FIBA Asia Cup. So he really lives and breathes the stuff, takes it seriously, and it's great to see him get a reward.
And I think with the presence of Lee on that Korean national squad, they're going to be a force for years to come.
He will. So here's a champions trophy. Oh, look at that. This is the fruits. This is the big prize for the club. This is what makes them happy.
The champions check.
50 million yen. Wow.
Roster spots open. But again, you might want to run it back with these three imports. All of them had a specific role, and all of them really helped this squad to a championship. And here comes the man of the moment.
Recognition for the captain, Karimata. Again, who is going to be given the club trophy, so that, or sorry, the championship trophy, so they can raise. He can raise it to the rafters if he can reach that high, or he can raise it and the party can officially commence. What a way to go out as a player. I think I'd like to retire as a league champion. Okay. We'll make sure that that happens.
Not everybody can say that they will retire a champion. And look at him there, holding that trophy. And this is a moment he will never forget.
I would have thought that he would have raised it high. Maybe they're going to do it in the middle.
That's right, as a team.
Very clever observation from Karimata. So Baba's MVP award, the final award, which was through the final games, games 1, 2, and 3 overall. That's why he received. So yeah, that made sense in terms of his consistency over the 3 games. And then Lee won his MVP through all the championship games.
Resona Group B.LEAGUE 2025-26 シーズンチャンピオンはNagasaki B.LEAGUE!
And there you have it, folks. The champions, Nagasaki B.LEAGUE. Moving on to bigger and better things, and really putting an exclamation mark on their season. Hey, listen, let's don't forget, RYUKYU Golden Kings, they finished 3rd in the regular season in the conference. They did incredibly well to beat Resona, the defending champions in the semifinals, and to make it to the final. doesn't make it any less disappointing for them not to win it, but tip your hat to this Nagasaki Velka team. They have literally put basketball on the map in Nagasaki with this performance.
And they feel that they can run it back. They do have a solid lineup, and Coach Modimar was right when he said we have a complete team. Yes, they do have a complete team, and if the other teams don't beef up, they just might dominate come 2026, 2027.
Well, the B-League, I know, is really excited that this has been another great season for its competition, and they will be getting busy immediately on making plans for next year, for next season, and that's going to be exciting. Modi Mower, I mean, you can't stress enough how much credit he deserves for building this team, for getting it ready. And he's proving to be kind of having that great touch wherever he coaches. His teams get better and really kind of contend. So congratulations to Modi Mower, to Paul Hanari as well, who joined the club this season from Shimane Susono Magic and had a huge role in this. But all those players showing that tremendous grit and resilience, especially after dropping game one. Modi Mower and his family coming out to the court, and his young kids. Wonderful to see. Basketball is a family sport, and that is proof positive of it.
The B-League has actually shown that, because you have a lot of the cheerleaders, and in fact a lot of the kids that come out for the halftime shows are all local products. And so that also actually encourages the entire community to come out and support not just their basketball team, but even their young kids that are either singing, dancing, or just part of the actual B-League program as a whole.
High fives all the way around for the supporters, for the fans, for the members of the club. Could not have gone any better really for Nagasaki Velka than it went for this team. And these guys now will have championships. They'll have a championship rather to savor for the rest of their lives.
They're going to be celebrating from the wee hours of the morning. And rightly so. They worked so long, so hard for this one. As early as August, they got together, they put their team in place, they had the preseason. Regular season began in October, culminating to a championship right here today at the end of May.
So many fans as well just sticking around. They want to savor this for as long as possible. It's been an amazing week. Think about it, if you're a fan and you come to Yokohama for the several days. So that is going to do it, I think, from us. Anthony, we're going to look at some highlights, in fact, now. And I don't know that it's going to capture the true essence of what happened just by the nature of highlights, because you see baskets that are made or whatever, but this, the true essence of this first half, especially that first quarter, But really, probably the first 18, 19 minutes of the game was the Nagasaki defense, the way they came out and just did not give an inch. It was
That's right,
tough.
because the highlights are going to be showing a lot of the baskets also made by the Golden Kings, despite the fact that they only scored 10 points in the first quarter, 13 points in the second. But here, watch this.
Yeah, almost half of their points in the first half came from the free throw line. So maybe closer to like, I think, high 30% of their play. That was definitely a highlight for Nagasaki. 5 going in, giving a sign early on that there was going to be more of that to come and that this team was not taking any prisoners.
And as you said, when you take a look at the highlights, it looked like the Ryukyu Golden Kings were battling Nagasaki basket for basket.
But Lee, I thought he made a mistake by keeping this. He had 3 players he could have passed to, but in fact, he did the right thing by keeping it, making the shot, because he could shoot over the defender and get the 3-point play. And here's Lee showing the quality. Onodera came out. Now, this was a big shot. At this point, you're like, okay, maybe they found somebody that's going to help bring him back. But it really, there wasn't really a comeback in that first half, was it? I mean, they were just bullying, getting those mismatches. Brantley there. Look how tough that shot was from Cooley to go in. And then look at him contest the basketball down low. And the putback, I mean, that's where you got to tip your hat to the Golden Kings. They continue to get everything. Baba. Just such a calming influence in this team. And then Johnson, who at times is an absolute superstar. The plays that he makes.
Johnson would only finish with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. But, you know, he had his moments.
But how tough was that move? And you saw Paul Venari break out the gun show as a salute to him, showing him how strong he had been on the move. You know, Law came out, made some tough plays. The second half, Golden Kings said, let's go out and make a game of this. But there were moments, again, where it looked like it might not go well for them in the third quarter. Lee, again, stroking it from deep. But Kishimoto and Co. did, in fact, make a run.
Well, they shut down Kishimoto from deep, so he had to just really change his point of attack, which was going to the rim. He got a lot of points on those layups, but again, he's really more effective when he's able to hit the long bombs.
I felt like Ryukyu got away with one there. It looked like a kind of a push-off by Brantley, and that cost him 3 points because Lee knocked down yet another three-pointer. It's 3 of 8 from deep today. Kurt really picked up his game in the second half, and this was a bit of good fortune. Onodera knocking down his second 3. Touch pass, and then Kurt. And you really felt like the possibility was there right now when Kurt scored with that reverse layup. And those Ryukyu Golden Kings fans were believing. But the hustle play by Kumagai. Little things like that. Bats it out to the perimeter. 3-pointer. And then Lee. Those are killers when you're chasing a team. You turn it over and give away 2 easy points.
That his 5-point swing from Sadahara gave them some hope.
Sadahara with that terrific finish. I think we need to keep an eye on him. I think he's going to take his game up another notch next season. That was a great finish from Kishimoto, and you're like, okay, this might happen for the Golden Kings. But they wisely took the timeout. They came back out. They got the play for Lee to attack the basket. And then the great hustle from Baba where he dives for the ball, goes out of bounds. It just kind of sends a signal, hey, defense is going to win us this title. Even so, Wall started making a couple of crazy shots. He shortly after had to leave the game because of the way he came down his leg, but then he came back. And Baba, so many options, you know. Baba, Brantley, Johnson, you name it. Lee, all these guys, just too many weapons. And the great thing for them was the fact that they played, as well as they played on offense, they played even better on defense. So, emotional moment for the RYUKYU Golden Kings to come up short for the third successive season. And the Nagasaki Velka join the pantheon of champions in the B-League. The first time, and they will be celebrating into the early morning hours. Just make no mistake about it. These guys are going to enjoy this one.
When you take a look at the numbers here, Jeff, it's going to be surprising. Collectively, Nagasaki shot 41% from the field. The Golden Kings shot only 32%. That's not going to get it done in a final series.
And it's interesting, you know, we talked about the strength of this Nagasaki Velka team, one of their strengths, but #1 three-point shooting team in the competition. Well, they ended up showing it today, 11 of 31. It didn't look like that was going to be the case in the first half, and they come out and really knock down shots in the second. But they forced 13 turnovers, and despite being out-rebounded by that massive margin, they just had too much. And Lee Hyung-jung with one of his finest hours. Kirk really kind of answered the bell for RYUKYU Golden Kings. Things were not going his way. Ditto for Law, but those guys continued to fight, and they gave absolutely everything. You know, rebounding is the statistic of desire, and Alex Kirk with a game-high 14, so that's all you need to say about him. He was terrific. Kumagai, quite possibly the most underrated player in this team. He was amazing. So there you have it, folks. The playoffs. We've gotten to the end. A 2-1 win for Nagasaki Velka. They beat Alvar Tokyo, and then they beat the Chiba Jets to make it to the final. And disappointment for the third year in a row for RYUKYU Golden Kings, making it to the final, but coming up just one win short.
Well, the only thing I can say, Jeff, is the fact that Nagasaki Velka proved to be the best team so far this season, and they are the rightful champions.
I don't think there will be anybody that's going to dispute that one, Anthony. So, once again, another B-League season done and dusted. So, thanks for everybody joining in. And I guess we'll see you again next year. So, rest up. Make sure you support your national teams. And we'll be back for another season of B-League basketball. Congratulations to the Nagasaki Velka champions of the 2025-26 season in the B-League.